Hi, and welcome to Social Impact TV. I'm Anna Choi, and it is my pleasure to have us join today Carol Sanford. I had the pleasure of meeting her first at TEDx Bellevue, and she has had an enormous scope of work over the last several decades at top Fortune 100 companies. Her textbooks are required readings at several Ivy Leagues, and her accolades are many, so be sure to read the bio that's right below this video. But for the few minutes that we have with her, Carol, go ahead. Thank you so much for being here. And go ahead and share with us what had you inspired to start the whole regenerative business concept.
I mean, it's funny when people ask me to go back how I started. I'm 75 years old, so who knows? I don't remember. Well, I do know some things because to me, it's all a progression. And what I even mean by regenerative business changes. I think everyone needs to understand that's how life works. But I started studying living systems with humans embedded in it as a way to look at business because I was so unhappy with how businesses were run, and including like the title of your TV program, Social Impact, where it wasn't inclusive enough. It didn't pay attention to the whole. So the only place regeneration happens, in spite of how people use the word, is in a living system. So you have to look at humans, an organization which is full of humans, nature, and then the ecosystem and health. So the way I got to it is I was inspired by natural systems, but then I realized even natural wasn't quite enough a word because it was a metaphor. And I began to look at living systems. And now I've created every bit of work I've done for almost 5 decades around that.
Wow. So when you say even the title of this program, how would you say the social impact is touching only one aspect? So you want to be able to reach the holistic side of business.
I don't even believe, sorry, Anna, but I don't even believe in the idea of social because that's a fragment. And that's not how living systems work. Living systems don't have a social. They are a whole being, which if you look at all of the principles it takes for it to be alive, one of them is it's whole. Another is that it's developmental. It's engaging and serving, and it's reciprocal. So my first book I wrote, The Responsible Business, I said, quit talking about corporate responsibility, social impact. Although I am senior fellow for social innovation, I always complain when people pull the word social out because it's not systemic and whole.
Interesting. Okay. Great. So with that, what have been then the challenges or the failures that you've dealt with along the way in creating this concept? Because I can imagine there's a lot of debate just to even frame it for people, right? Or
oh my gosh, you are absolutely right. So first, the word failure comes out of a non-living systems paradigm. It comes out of a machine paradigm. There's nothing in a living system fails. There's no failure. We metaphorically have taken the machine view and said humans, and you hear people advertise all the time, go ahead and fail. Actually, all that happens is you're on a journey and you're looking at things and looking at the restraints, which are a source of creativity. Until you're dead, and I'm not even sure it's true then, there's no failure. So I think the words we use, the language we use, and that's one of the biggest challenges, as you put it. The other is that people use the term regeneration without meaning living systems. They actually mean like restore something to its original form, or get it back to what it's supposed to be, achieve some ideal. They use the word and quit using sustainability and start using regeneration because they like that term better.
And resilience I've heard of. Yeah.
Resilience, right. And those are all valid ideas, but they're completely different things. So the laziness with which we approach understanding things is probably the biggest challenge. And I create a lot of frameworks. I've got 700 videos. I've got 8 books, 3 of which are still in print. All of them are about discernment. So my life's work is about discernment and being able to actually see the difference and not adopt ideas because they're kind of easy and we think we understand them.
Is that working then? So, now that you're recoining everything, but then everything's in that old machine paradigm, like failure. How do you now?
Well,
yeah.
So what I say is the work is education. It is not implementation. People want to say, what can I do? Well, one of the reasons I teach at universities and I write, and if you attend like the Regenerative Business Summit I run or any of the other communities that I create, they're all based on education. I'm not a consultant. I don't tell people what to do. I'm educating for a new mind, the mind that can see in a more whole and complete way. And then all that you pursue, which I greatly value, Anna, I greatly value how you take on things, would happen because people are looking at it as a living system. So I haven't given up, and I do watch huge change happen. I'm now given bigger and bigger platforms, able to write the lead chapter in books. People want to talk about this. So I feel like there is a community of people who are really switching, including the communities which I run, which people join and stay with. The other thing is it happens over years. It is not a course you take. It is like an MBA for life, or MBA is not even the right word because that's too small. But I've got people who've been studying with me who are professors at Stanford, Harvard, MIT, and they've been studying with me since before they went to graduate school. And they're embedding it in those universities, how it works. And now we're beginning to embed it with Babson College, which is the #1 and #2 entrepreneurial school in the nation for undergraduate and graduates.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's why Babson. Okay.
That's why Babson.
Excellent. So how can we find out more? Because you have us wanting more. There's so many books, so many resources. People get overwhelmed nowadays. What are the top, 1 to 3 places that would be best to start?
So I first would get the new book, The Regenerative Business, because I've grown up over my 75 years. It's like a different evolution. It's focused on work systems and can be looked at as a personal development book. So I'd start there, and then please review it on Amazon. You can get a lot more resources, press, book reviews, whatever you need, by going to carolsanford.com or to Carol Sanford Institute. You can find out a little more about what happens with business. Those are probably the top 3 places you'd find different spokes of the work.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. And your time is precious, so it's great to get into your head for just a moment here.
Well, it's great to be interviewed by you. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.